What's going on, guys? Welcome to the night here at Dub Saw Shop. Needless to say, this weekend has been a little slow, catching our breath. Spent the day with the family out yesterday with my daughter and one of her little friends. Went out, got some food. Ended up going to an escape room, done that. And pretty much just came back home, chilled inside, took it easy. So today, came out here, been trying to catch up on a few little things that I need to get done. Had a Husqvarna 128 LD weed whacker. Had just put a fuel line on. I really didn't see no need in videoing that. We are working on another 330. So parts from this 330 came courtesy of Kevin Smith and Larry Benford. Forgive me, I believe I said your name right, Larry, but if I didn't, I am sorry, and please correct me in the comments if you see this video. Pretty much all together, minus missing a rear half for the muffler. The rear half that I had off of this other part saw has pretty much rusted the whole backside out. So Kevin Smith's got one, me and him did a little bit of part swapping, so we got one on the way. This one, it's got the big car, big intake. Base is stock. Nothing's been cut. No timing changes have been made. The only thing that we did do is fill the transfers with epoxy. And pretty much on the 54cc ones, the air comes up and hits a hard 90-degree turn into the chamber. Where on the 60cc cylinders, it's more of like a swooping action. So we're going to test it out on this and see how it does. I wanted to keep this one all stock, so we would have all stock minus that. So we could have something to compare some salts to. Still got the big dog on it. It's got a new old stock chain brake. That's that 330. It's got a used piston, used ring. Everything looks good. We just cleaned it up. Poulan 3400 counter vibe. So we received this saw from Jim Bartlett, courtesy of Mr. Smitty, Brian Smith. Smitty wanted me to get this, see what we can do with them. I've never done a 3400, but I've heard they take to porting pretty well. I'm sure we ain't going to go too crazy on it, but we're going to do something. I went ahead and got another cylinder. I got a 3400 too that I've been thinking about porting. So I'm going to get the numbers on Smitty's. We're going to get it ported up. And if anything happens, if it doesn't run well, got another cylinder we can go off of. Does sink sometimes. We got that, and we got another piston just in case. I do have a video of this running. I will insert that right here. does run pretty well. To be a stock 3400, cuts just like it's supposed to. So, we got that little project coming up. We're going to be finishing up the 330. John Cutter, 7500. We are going to be diving into that at this point. I think I've ran it enough, so everybody that's going to buy one, they got the feel of how it's going to be. We got that carburetor straightened out. It's cutting pretty good now. I think that last video where I was cutting with it, I think it was running a tick lean on the high side versus what it wanted. It wasn't lean, but the saw wanted a little bit more fuel. But it's running pretty good. We're going to get that thing cracked open, see what's inside, get it ported up. So another thing that I've done this weekend, and I know it's a hard thing to do, and that's kind of clean up the shop. So I cleaned up the lathe. I bought a couple new tools. We got some new carbide cutters. We got a new dial indicator set up. I'll show you all that. I'll pause y'all right here and get this stuff out. I went ahead and cleaned the lathe up. I pulled the chuck off of it, cleaned the jaws, all that good stuff. We tightened up the gib, which is these 5 little screws on your cross slide and these 4 little screws on your compound. Once you set these on, the gib just takes up the slack in it, and you pretty much just start in the middle and work your way out to get them tight. So we went ahead and got that set up. I like this little setup, so I bought one for the tool post. So we got a dial indicator for the tool post now. It's 3D printed. It just goes right on the tool post, and instead of setting up that elaborate setup for getting the 4 jaws straight, we can just use that. So this is the cutter set that I've been using. They work great. These 2 right here get used more than anything. But I found these. Just the cutter. This came with the tool post. But I like the angle that these 2 came at. We got a right and a left hand cutter. And I think it came with 10 carbide tips. Also bought this setup. It's a magnetic base just like the one that I got. But the other one that I have, each one of these poles are independent and they slide back and forth. Whole lot of room for wiggle, whole lot of room for error. This one screw tightens up the 3 pivot points. So once you get it set, you tighten up one screw and it tightens up all of them. And then this one does have the fine tune adjustment. So you move that and it moves your head up and down just a little bit so you can fine tune everything. It came with a dial indicator. Nothing fancy. I think this whole setup was about 60 or 70 bucks on Amazon. I'm thinking about starting a little segment, make little quick short videos on just like little tech tips. I see people all the time in the comments asking questions about how to do this, how to do that. I think we can make like a quick 3 to 5 minute video showcasing what to do. Like getting a flywheel off, which line's what on a carburetor, how do you hook your primer bulb up, which one's the suction, which one's returns it back to tank. So I think that'd be a good little adventure to start into. That way, I ain't gonna say less experienced people, but the people that don't know, that's just getting into this, or a homeowner looking to make a quick fix on the chainsaw, maybe one of them little quick fix videos will help out. So we'll do all that hopefully coming up soon too. I'm gonna probably get a little dry erase board and make some notes. but we'll see how that goes. So, I'm excited to get cracking on the new stuff here. Excited to try it out. As soon as we get the muffler for this 330, we'll get cracking on that. We'll get some runs on it. And hopefully coming up, I got to work next week 4 days. Then I'm off 7. So I want to try to get into this 3400 of Smitty's then. I'm either going to try to get in the 3400 or get in the 7500 or a combination of both. So, y'all have a great day. Y'all stay tuned for what we got coming up next. Dubs, we out.